You're listening to the soothing sounds created by me.
Writer,
quite
composer.
possibly the goofiest little sound composer I think I've ever had. And I got it when Trident Gum was starting a new thing, and it was pretty awesome to be able to get that all. It's a stupid application on my iPhone from some Trident offer, and it's a really cool little audio processor. So that's what you're listening to right now. This is ExtempoRadio. I'm Brendan O'Day,
And I'm Sam Gabon.
We're here tonight introducing a new segment. We're going to be bringing up Jason Evans from mkefunny.com. Quite possibly one of the most complete, I'm not even going to say quite possibly, it is the most complete clearinghouse of information comedy related here in the Milwaukee area. And I've checked out websites from all over the country and just have not seen anybody's website that's as complete as what Jason's doing, and totally up to date. And my favorite thing is when clubs call him and find out what their schedule is, because he's that complete. He's got information that I don't think the government even has, and to me that's just amazing that he's able to keep that up. He's expanded that website to also include shows around Wisconsin, and it's amazingly fabulous just to see what he does and what he puts out there. So that was a nice little microphone pop there. Sorry about that. So that's you're listening to ExtempoRadio on RiverwestRadio.com, and there's still spots on the schedule here at at Riverwest Radio to sign up. So if you've been thinking about or threatening to have yourself a nice little radio show that you've always dreamed of being on the radio, and things are still going on and in place to crank this thing up and become a real legit, real live radio station. If you've always wanted to have an FCC license and have your life invaded more by the government, it's about the coolest thing ever, is that you can actually do a real radio show. We are subject to all the community standards, rules, and regulations of the FCC, but until that day occurs, we're just keeping track of how many times we swear and deciding that we're going to have our little swear jar here, nice little party atmosphere. But that's part of life, and
I need to just throw a 20 in there, man, just to keep up with how I messed up at the beginning.
There you go. I think it's pretty crucial to have the whole community standards thing. We have to really look at the actual broadcast perimeter that's going to be available with this low power FM, and if it's literally confined to Riverwest, I've never heard anybody talk in Riverwest without just swearing a blue streak the whole time they're talking. So community standards, we're going to actually have to ratchet it up and start salting our language a little bit, because we're both a little too clean. And that's just it's just how it rolls out here. So yeah, we're here. It's Monday night again. Another weekend of weirdness and being busy. I was bemoaning the fact last Monday that I got nothing going on in May, and now May is just absolutely kicking my butt. I can barely keep ahead of everything that's just popped up in the last week. Yeah, it's just so it's a good thing, you know. That's all you got to do is put it out to the universe that, hey, I'm available, and then things kind of explode and screw up your life. And you thought, hey, I was going to be able to get away with some stuff and take it easy for a week. Maybe I could even get away for a couple of days on the Memorial weekend, and now I'm pretty much committed straight through to June 1st, and it's just that kind of thing.
That's silly universe.
Yeah, I tell you, we're big fans of the universe. So, I believe absolutely nothing in metaphysics. I have absolutely no adherence to any of that stuff. But it is just kind of comical that, that's how the things kind of go. So, you got to give it up to something. You got to put the blame on something. You got to give props to something. I'm going with the universe. That's what's getting my props is
blame
the universe
on everything.
I
now.
love blaming the universe for things, so I might as well give the universe props when I don't get shat upon. And I said shat. That is the old English. That's actually doesn't
Does
count.
that count for 50 cents?
I don't
maybe?
think that counts. I think I'm clean. I think I'm safe. I'm clear. I've got the clear. So yeah. But I don't know. Should we just start hitting the promos and the plugs here before we get things rolling?
Hey, dude, wasn't T-Dubs looking good? I remember seeing him dressed so nice.
Now we're gonna get to that a little bit later. We'll just start with. We'll tease that right there. We're gonna. I don't know if he's racing home to be able to listen to this,
maybe,
or if he's gonna catch this in podcast form. But we're gonna just touch on, because I don't know that we want to get too deep into it, because I don't want to take away the fire. There's going to be something in 3 months that's going to be just amazing that you're going to stay tuned to hear and listen for that. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, you were talking about the cash coupon offer that samkaban.com is going to be offering up. Tell me about that. What's going on?
As I've been training in the American Taekwondo Association, I've been ramping up to getting certified to be a Taekwondo teacher. But and I'm not going to give any details on the deal yet. But I'm going to be doing a deal through the cash coupon. And the cash coupon, there's a link on my website, samkaban.com, and there's a link for cash coupon, and you go there and you can get yourself for $10, you can get yourself a coupon, and maybe it's, I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a Groupon or anything like that, but it's basically $10. You get 20 points, or rather 20 coupons that you can use on any deal that you find on the site. And there's over 400 deals at this point, throughout the Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Waukesha area, Franklin, whatever. And so basically you get 20 deals, but the cool thing about it, like when you buy those like big books, those entertainment books, and if you find a gig that you really like there's a restaurant you like, there's usually like 3-4 coupons.
Sure. And
you kill those coupons, you're pretty much done. On cash coupon, if there is a deal that you really like, you can just keep destroying all your points on that one deal until they're up. So it's really cool. You get a lot of flexibility as a customer.
That's fabulous. Yeah, cash coupons are a really cool thing. I know you've got a little bit of a hand of it, full disclosure, but a little hand in it. But it's just I love the way it functions. In that you dictate what you want your offer, how you want to apply your offer.
Right.
That's an amazing thing. Like you say, a lot of times, boy, I really like that cool thing. We get half off of that thing. But once you've used up those coupons, you're done.
Right.
And I just think that's really an exceptional circumstance that they offer. So check that out. Go to samkaban.com. We're going to give you more details on this next Monday. And next Monday is Memorial Day, but we are still going to be here. We're still going to be broadcasting, assuming the store is open. I didn't even ask. Is Riverwest Film and Video open next Monday?
Sweet.
That's Memorial Day.
Oh.
Oh.
We might open late.
Cool.
I think we'll be open.
Awesome. Well, we're planning on being here for the show. It's going to be a great time, and the cool thing about this is always you can always check us out on the podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast if you go to riverwestradio.com. There's 5 buttons along the top, and the last one is shows. If you look up ExtempoRadio, you can subscribe to our podcast, and it'll just drop into your email as soon as the tech wizards here at Riverwest Radio, Riverwest Film and Video, and riverwestradio.com go ahead and load up our recorded podcast, our recorded broadcast, and just props and shout outs to Nick for being just the guru and the god to us. Ed, you're awesome too, but man alive, Nick, you've been there for us, and you're just totally committed, man. And really appreciate everything he does and everybody here at Riverwest Film and Video does to make all this come together. It is a huge, huge undertaking, and wow, the execution and dedication with which people are approaching this is tremendous. There are still some needs here at riverwestradio.com, Riverwest Film and Video. Specifically paralegal services, things like that. So if you know somebody in the legal universe that wants to do some pro bono work for a nonprofit group, this is a great opportunity for that person to put their expertise to work out there and help out a really worthwhile cause. This is I think more information is getting distributed through riverwestradio.com to the people of Riverwest and near west side of Milwaukee than has ever been. So it's really a cool thing. love people supporting it. It's a cool thing. So, wow,
That was a mouthful.
Yeah,
Do you
kept
have any
that
more
going.
promo?
I do.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Did we kill it?
No, I've
Save some for later.
Well, I like getting it all out of the
Sprinkle
way.
it.
I like getting it out of the way in the first 15 minutes of the show. Make that
right.
go away. And so I've got 1 minute to promote these 2 shows.
All right, yeah, do the shows.
Coming up on Friday, June 15th, I'll be at the Kewanee Inn in Kewanee, Wisconsin. That's just south of Green Bay. So if you know folks in the Green Bay, Two Rivers, Manitowoc, Sheboygan area, it's an amazing show and an amazing place. The Kewanee Inn is under new management. They are turning that place around. Not that it was bad. It was actually a pretty nice place, and just breathing new life into this place that is just a rocking good time. We had a show there 2 weekends ago on a Saturday night that just, it was outrageously fun, and they treat their guests like guests. They really let them feel appreciated. But that's on Friday, June 15th, 8 p.m. at the Kewanee Inn, and then Saturday, June 16th, all the way up in Wapaka at Nature's Edge Resort. I'll be there 8 p.m. as well. Both tickets for both those shows $10, and a really fabulous night of comedy and just a good time. So Friday, June 15th, Saturday, June 16th. You can go to facebook.com/BrenDamaged and see all my connections to those shows, and you can get on there. So that's our that's the promo plug portion. I do want to mention this also coming up tonight at 8:15, between 8:15 and 8:45. Jason Evans from mkefunny.com is going to be here for the first edition, first and third Mondays of the month. Jason will be here for the mkefunny.com half hour and just doing his thing, and he's going to be bringing interviews of local comedians. All kinds of great opportunities. National touring acts are going to be talking to Jason and just, giving you a better idea of what's going on in the comedy scene. We're really, I think, between the groups that are really active presently in comedy in Milwaukee, comedy in Milwaukee is finally going to get a foothold again. It has a chance to really be looked at as a legitimate option for entertainment expenditures, and I think that's great. And people like Jason are the kind of people that are going to make this thing move ahead and keep going on. So Jason's guest tonight is Miguel Rivera. They'll be in at 8:15, and you need to stay tuned and you need to listen in. There's a ticket giveaway coming at the 8:15 mark. We're gonna offer up a chance to win some tickets to Joker's Comedy Club out on Silver Spring, 11,400 West Silver Spring Drive. It's really kind of amazing, actually. Jimmy JJ Walker from Good Times is gonna be performing there this weekend. Dynamite. It is Dynamite. I don't know if I'm not gonna say it's got almost a little bit of a sideshow element to it. But I really want to see Jimmy JJ Walker and what he's been up to, because I've seen him on a few shows, on panel type shows over the last 5 or 10 years, and that guy his finger is on the pulse of entertainment. He is engaged, and he has been out touring literally for 20 years. So he's a guy that has done his damnedest to stay relevant and to keep a message out there, and that he's just a great example of it. It's hard to do and it takes effort, but if you keep swinging away, man, you can make it happen. So I'm happy to be able to get a chance to see Jimmy Walker right here in our own neck of the woods. So that's coming up at 8:15. So that's the start of the show. Made it, and actually, if you take out the 3 minutes that we started late with the changeover, 15. It's exactly 15 minutes. We hit that number. We're very happy and pleased with ourselves tonight. It's pretty fabulous. Yeah, it's the start of a week.
Yeah, man. Another
start
weekend
of a
gone
busy
by.
week.
Busy week, yeah. Busy weekend. Dude, I'm destroying it with this coaching stuff. Like, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but holy crap, man. It's been, 4 or 5 clients, a few other people that want to start coaching.
Sure.
And then I got this guy I got 2 people tomorrow. It's
So you're gonna have a roster of 7 people before you even get this
it's
thing
going to be
rolling.
way bigger than I thought.
Sure.
So yeah, it's probably a lot of time management and time management and systemization is going to be a real big deal for which I know how to do, but man, I got to make it tighter than ever.
Yeah, it is. People used to always make the joke about the psychiatrist that had the 45-minute. First, it was the 50-minute hour.
Right.
Then it was the 45-minute hour. And the reason they do that is they literally spend that last 15 to 10 minutes recapping. They're sitting there with a recorder that someone's going to transcribe later, recording the last 45 minutes that you just sat there talking to them. They're not just going, hey, it's time to party for 15 minutes. They're actually putting that time to work. And that's probably the hardest thing to always remember and factor into what you're doing, is that you want to give them that full hour. You want to even go over time. And it's like, you got to
No, man, they get
commit.
it. They get it. They get my hour. I part of that whole thing too was like I didn't want to spend a lot of time. One of the biggest things is that I don't want to spend a lot of time doing like unnecessary stuff during that hour. Like that hour, that 60 minutes is between them and I. And if they're paying for it, they should get it. So I prep beforehand. I tell them to send me what they're trying to get over, what the challenges are.
Sure.
During that time, we do a bunch of work, we kill stuff. While they're talking and I'm talking, I'm jotting down notes. Of course, it's got to be in a way that they don't understand.
Sure.
So I got to play like doctor and take funky notes and scribble crap so they don't know, because people get a little self-conscious and weird and they'll look at what you're writing.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. And then afterwards is the follow-up. But during that time, it's their time.
But just know, people, he's actually doing work ahead of that hour with you, taking your email in and codifying your issues, and so you're giving them that full value of the hour plus.
Yeah, it's more of an hour, 30-minute hour.
Yeah, easily. So, but I think that's one of those things where that's what you really need to, is it's so easy to forget, when you're talking to, 7 different people, and people are people. As unique and individual as we all want to believe our issues are, they're actually oftentimes pretty similar.
Right.
These types of guys will have these types of problems. These types of gals will have these types of issues.
Right.
And so it's. I'm not going to say it's not. Every circumstance certainly is unique and individualistic, but keeping all those details straight, it's so much based on the record that you keep. So that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's you have always struck me as that kind of guy that's just very specific about that stuff. So that's I think people are going to get a ton of value for it.
Yeah, I try to be, keep everything. You have to keep everything on track. I would, even with you, what you do, just comedy, you got to keep everything on track, don't you? You can't just be like, I just tell jokes and everything falls into place.
Yeah, I just kind of wing it. I don't write anything down. I have notebooks full of, and I've got backups to calendars, and just you have to. And unfortunately, I think that's we talk about that a lot when we get together as comedians, and we talk about that it's show business. There is a business side to this. And comedians historically have been really bad at the business side of things. And a lot of guys kind of revel in that. Oh, I'm really terrible at that. And my follow-up sucks. Well, your shitty follow-up.
$1.
What time do we get to? 7:22. Your less than stellar follow-up.
If anybody wants to donate a really cool jar for our swear jar, dude, that'd be awesome. I was thinking about buying one, but maybe we should get like an awesome donation.
Yeah, somebody want to donate a nice swear jar. You have a 1934 milk jug that you want to throw in. So, Jason Evans going to
I got a jar for you. It's from, it's a church. It was from their wine.
Nice.
So that would be perfect.
Communion wine.
Nice. I use them for ashtrays at the house.
Jason Evans puts out his cancerous devil sticks in a communion wine jug. That is pretty awesome.
That's gangster.
There's not a lot of people that would willingly admit to and acknowledge that just by the simple act of smoking, they commit at least 4 mortal sins. That's
recycling.
Is that
recycling? Yeah. See?
Jump back up here for a second.
Yeah, come on, man.
Are you a former devout Catholic, or what's your deal?
I worked for
That's right.
I worked for a Catholic church for a while.
Yeah.
And I used to take the wine jugs, just like it's like I don't know what kind of wine it is. It's like a cheap type of wine, but they have come in these big jugs.
Oh yeah.
And I used to take them home because they just used to put them in the recycling thing.
Sure.
So that I've been using them. I have like 50 of them at home. I tried to sell some on Craigslist.
Yeah.
But no one wanted to buy. For crafts or something.
Well, and
Sure.
even being able to just that whole what do you say? The home winemaking. You'd think people that were home winemakers would want to do something like that and use them because, it's probably the appropriate glass, because I'm sure there's specific glass types. Are they like a green bottle glass?
No, they're in a white bottle glass, but I sold 20 of them to one of those guys.
Oh, really? There you go.
For like $1 a piece.
Sure.
And he was happy.
Yeah.
I loaded him up, but I'm just saying that would be perfect for a swear jar.
Without a doubt.
I use them for ashtrays. They take about a month
ultimate
to
swear
fill.
jar.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of that.
Sure.
It takes a whole month, but
Yeah, and I could easily pretend that someone has blessed that jug.
Yeah,
because I don't know if they bless the
Rabbi.
jug. I don't know if they bless the jug before they dump it into the little.
No, I don't
thing,
believe they do.
Or if they actually bless that amount that they're putting in, because that'd be a shame if you dropped a bottle of blessed wine onto the floor.
Oof.
How many souls do you think would have to be committed to hell in order to appease the great?
well, they can't be too sacred because they were going out to the recycle bin. So.
There you go.
There you
Well,
go.
no, I'm getting it that it's the wine that was in there, but there always has to be a little residue in there.
No, I drink that.
You drank all that, mixed it down with water, and shook it all around.
Little
Got the
Kool-Aid.
last.
Holy Kool-Aid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Holy Kool-Aid. There you go.
Nice.
Drink it
By
up.
the way, now that since I'm just talking here,
Sure.
I was actually trying to work out, get better. I was running today.
Yeah.
I ran.
Oh, is this a bit? Are you doing a bit?
No, it's not a bit at all. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Just because of the weight that I am?
No. I just you have
I'm
this.
just saying.
This is
Six-pack,
the
boy.
I was
radio.
running. It felt really good. It felt good to be active again in my life, and I was
Good.
happy about it.
Good.
Then the cop tased me.
Ba-dum, boom.
Cheater.
I am going to get a rim shot sound effect just
That'd
for
be
the
awesome.
815 to.
Hey, can we get that Price is Right sound effect too?
Yeah, you already used that on me once. No more.
Oh yeah, what was the joke you put up? And I put that. I
forgot
put
which
that
one that
clip
was.
up.
Did you really?
It was
That's
really
nice.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put that up. Real nice.
funny.
Yeah. Then the cop tased me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Phil, you ran?
Sorry, dude.
Hey-o.
Did you really run? Or are you still fucking around? I mean, messing around. Damn it!
It was a
Oh, darn it.
joke.
I gotta
I
get
still.
there.
It was a
I'm interested in that.
joke.
I'm interested in health and
Seriously,
stuff like
I got
that.
tasered
We.
today.
We had a long conversation on a recent as a nice little segue. I did a show this past Friday, at the Holy Nativity Lutheran Church down in Kenosha, which surprisingly went very well. A lot of money based on the size of the audience was raised for the organization. That was really super cool. But we had a great drive down there with 5 comics in one car, and I'm not gonna rat anybody out and drop names or anything, but we were talking about people who constantly do their bits on you, and you don't even really know it until you see them for the first time go up, and you're like, he just said that to me at the bar. Like,
It was a practice
you
bit.
don't, yeah, well, like you don't have things to talk about outside of the bits that you did.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of
veteran national touring comics. They do that a lot, but awareness comedy. So like they'll come into a place and they'll be like, that door looks like this, and then they'll see what the reaction is, and then if the reaction is good from the other comics, they'll go up there, and that's the
they'll
first
say
thing they
that
open with.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh boy!
That's they're just like awareness comedies. They just
Yeah,
look
no,
at
we're-
stuff.
yeah, just to
Yeah.
add a
Shoot it
little.
out
No, and I'm not above. I've been in conversation, and something comes out of that conversation that's really funny, and I'll write a larger, expanded bit on it. There might be a genesis in a conversation somewhere, but I don't write the joke first. And then, we got to get there at half an hour before showtime so I can meet up at the bar with people and try this stuff out on them before I go up. No, don't do that.
Shouldn't they have an idea of what's good before then?
Well,
Yeah, you definitely should. But you'd be amazed at how many people just want to run through it with somebody that, who's just there. It's another body. It's another chance.
Sure.
And that's got its own little brand of kind of social awkwardness rolled into some light psychosis.
I like throwing out zingers or junk too, and it's fun sometimes.
Sure.
It's nothing that I would ever do in a set.
The opening joke that you're doing now with the open letter to the motorcycle guy, that came from that actual experience that we had about 3 weeks ago, driving up the highway, and this dude came ripping right between our two vehicles, and you've turned it into a great bit. But that night, the three of us sitting in that car talking about that as that guy zipped away up the freeway, and we talked about it for another 2 minutes or whatever. That it's kind of funny because even as comics, you sit there and you go, oh, okay, that came together well. Yeah. You'll be able to get a reaction from that. And the guy that was riding with us said, that's a bit. Mm-hmm. You got to do that. And we can identify that. We see that coming. But there was never a point where you started the evening going, I sure hope a motorcycle rides past us so I can tell this story that I put together in my own head. That was not the genesis of it. But you've taken it down to a usable bit now from the actual real world experience.
It needs a lot of work still for me to put it in.
Well, it's coming. I think it's actually coming along really well. And even the first time I heard you tell it, which I think might have been the first time you put it out there. You put it on Facebook first, and then that night you told it for the first time. Yeah. It got a great reaction, and it was decent. It was really raw. It was just I think it was really super honest because it's one of those things that really connects with a lot of people, and the timing was perfect. It was like the first, not that we had a cold winter, but it was like the first first weekend where everybody got the motorcycles out. It was like that day everybody had encountered the same idiot, who's got his pent up. I haven't been able to ride my crotch rocket all winter long, so now's my weekend. And being able to do that. So that's kind of a cool thing. So
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's right. Yeah. You never have to apologize.
See ya.
There's Jason Evans in and out. In and out. So it's just we just do the whole
Dude, that reminds me of that pickup stuff, man. That premeditating what you're gonna say to chicks and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh God, that might be, but although it had some value to it, that might be the most embarrassing time of my life.
Well, certainly, and the funny thing is, you take guys like that. For some guys, they absolutely need that because they're so awkward. They're so uncomfortable in a social setting like that. If they don't have some lead in, they're never gonna ever meet anybody.
Right.
And unfortunately, this is not directed at you ladies in any derogatory way or pejorative way, but sometimes you almost want to be fooled a little bit by, is this guy really that smooth or not? We don't know. How long did he work on developing that comfortability?
They want a guy that's smooth, that's for sure. That's cool. But yeah, it's not like I don't know, it's like I think like they can tell, like women can tell there's like an intuitiveness, absolutely. So you say so, like the dude that's like that constantly talks about his money and car or whatever, or what he's got going for him. I go to this school, and he's he's a tool or whatever. That sucks. But it sucks just as bad, like having a premeditate lines, because what happens is that these people start using it as a crutch. You know what I mean? Like that's their line. They're like this because these guys are like,
for me once.
Yeah,
I'll use it forever.
Ultimate nerd thoughts. You know what I mean? Like this is the formula. It will work every time. And they'll like spit these lines out. And I was doing that. I did that for like a few months. And that got me caught up in some pretty like weird feeling, like kind of awkward rejections. And there was if you ever read this book called the Mystery Method.
Mystery had his whole VH1 thing.
Yeah. So I read that book, and this was back when I was like, man, I want to learn this stuff because it seemed cool. I mean, there's really I still say there's nothing wrong against learning it. I mean, a guy wants to please a woman, and that's cool to try to learn how to do that. But on the same note, it's like they would create these lines that you had. What are you doing? Can't even. I see. There's
Jason
like
Evans is fixing the stage.
Thank you.
The radio station elevated window stage area that we have here at riverwestradio.com.
Is there a name for this? This little area?
I think it's the radio station.
Well, not this. Well, okay, fair enough.
I think that's all it is, just a radio station. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I would. I remember I go out and there's in that Mystery Method book, they're like, to be able to get good at talking to women, they say, like take certain lines and or write lines that or stories or whatever that you can think of, and go out and practice that stuff on people to see how they react or whatever, and if it works and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is that, the mystery method had a few examples of lines that you could use, and it turned into this thing where, like, it was no longer people were thinking for themselves. It was like, what's the next line that mystery is going to say that I can use? Mm-hmm. And there was this one line. And they called it, this style of talking to people was called indirect opening, which is like, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I want to like punch myself right now. So indirect opening was the idea that you would talk to women with the idea that you wanted to say stuff that didn't make it seem like you were hitting on them, where you just had a curious question or whatever. And there's this one called Who Lies More. Anybody that's ever been in this pickup community did know about it. It's ridiculous. So Who Lies More was like, you would go up to women and say like, who do you think lies more, men or women? And I read this in a Cosmo magazine, and what do you think, right? And I remember I was blasting that line I was like spamming the city of Milwaukee with that line, right? And I remember one day it got to the point where I was so focused on approaching and talking and saying those lines that I started people became a blur. And I stopped forgetting who I talked to. And I remember I used the same line on a chick. I said it to her. I was like, who lies more? Blah, blah, blah. Because I read in this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I remember you. I saw you last week, and you said the same thing to me. I was like, oh, crap. And I just walked away. I didn't even know what else to say because I sound like such an idiot. And then it got
have you done any research to that end? Who does lie more?
I wouldn't even have thought of that. I was too dumb. And then it got even worse. And then I started realizing how deep that's when I stopped doing it. That's when I found out how deep it was going, when I started going out with a friend of mine. We were going out, quote, unquote, sarging. They had like these weird names for like picking up. Oh my god! So we were sarging for the chicks, and I remember I went up to apparently I had approached these two girls before I did in this club. One of those big, loud, semi-dark clubs. Yeah. So he rolled up on these chicks already, and I went and rolled up on them, and I said stuff. I said, whatever I said. I had a certain body language that I was trying to demonstrate higher value. and these chicks, they stopped and they looked at each other and they looked back at me, and she's like, "Do you have a friend here?" And I just made I was like, "No, I'm just kicking it by myself. I'm crazy, whatever." And she's like, "Well, you didn't say what he said, but the way that you said everything, you looked like him." And I was like, whoa. Wow. So I became roboticized, you know what I mean? I was just like, it was no longer I could appreciate people. It was like I was just spitting crap, in people's ears. And that's when I was like, I got to drop everything and start fresh.
Yeah, there you go.
And just start spitting whatever. No matter how dumb I looked, I would just start making stuff up on the spot.
Yeah, it's that weird moment where you decide, hey, maybe I'll be who I am.
Yeah,
I'll be an actual person and see if I can involve some interest in actually me instead of some guy's words out of a book or whatever.
Yep.
Some video. So, valuable stuff and words to live by, kids.
Yeah.
So, if you have your own pickup stories back in the day when you used to be a
dude, calling some rejections or whatever.
Yeah, if you got buried by some lovely young lady at a bar at 1:30 in the morning because she'd heard the same line or seen the same magic trick by the same.
Oh my gosh! You want to see my magics?
Roostering. What do they call the thing when they got
peacocking?
Peacocking. Roosters, peacocks.
That's an old theory though. It's just rehashed because I read it in a few other books.
Biology, yeah.
Sure.
But you can call in here at 414-935-2951. You're going to have a chance to win some tickets to the Jimmy Walker show a little later on at 8:15. But call in if you got a story of ladies. If some guy used a bunch of lines on you that you're like, what?
What's up, baby?
Why did
anything
you?
For you?
Why are you talking like a book, like a self-help book? Could you be any creepier? Just give a call if you got some amazing stories of a past life experience.
Want to hear one more solid one?
Yeah, sure, please.
I was, where Taylor's is by Cathedral Square.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good place to kick it or whatever. And I mean, I went out with a friend of mine. This is back when we were still semi-nervous, but I was starting to get comfortable and talking to whoever. And this is when I really learned about this was actually a pretty valuable lesson. This is when I learned about the real art of staying confident and not being shaken by people and not letting yourself get angry, even if other people are in the wrong. To not get angry because they're your emotions and you shouldn't have to get upset, over other people's anger or bad attitudes or whatever. So we walked up to what the PUA community would call a 5-set. So there's 5 chicks basically. All right. And
5-set.
You
got to have your jargon so people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
so they think there's something to be in on.
Drop it, nerds. Start walking up to chicks and just drop it. But yeah, he's like, there's look at those chicks over there. Go walk up to them. I said, sure. So I was peacocked, right? I had like a crazy shirt. I had some shirt. I mean, I think this is pretty like common, cheap, like fun shirt that people buy. It says like male escort service or whatever. And then I had like a.
There's a lot of people walking around with male
I see it.
escort
Like I
service.
see a bunch of people,
Really?
in that community probably.
Yeah.
So I had this shirt, and then I had like a those one of those kind of crazy stone necklaces and stuff. I actually liked that. It was pretty fun, and that was it. It wasn't anything crazy beyond that. I just had some
Basically,
jeans.
you're saying you like looking pretty.
I like looking pretty, metro, if you will. It's very metro. What's
Very
up,
nice.
girl?
Very nice.
And so I walked up to these girls, and it was like four of them were actually very cool. And the number 5 was like married and, all good looking girls. And I go talk to them and I'm getting along fine. And the married one starts dogging me like hardcore dogging me. Like that was like her mission, right?
What is dogging me? Following you?
No. When somebody dogs you, that's like when they're making fun of you. They're just being rude to you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I started... she's like looking at my shirt. She's like, "What's with that shirt? Male escort service? What's with that? Who wears that?" Like, really, not kind of. She wasn't
harsh.
She wasn't. Yeah, she was harsh about it. She's like, "That is, dude. No, why would you wear that here, right?" And I'm like, "All right, I'm be cool." I try to ignore her, and then later on. During the I turn back to her friends, keep talking to her friends, and she's like, "What's with that necklace?" She grabs my necklace with like 2 of her fingers, like her thumb and her index, and picks it up and then drops it like it's trash. She's like, "Who wears that? That's ugly. Who wears that? Nobody wears it anymore. It's for teenagers." Just boom, 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 and she is trying hard to get a reaction. I've never felt that much pressure from a chick in my life. Wow. And a married chick, right? So she's like yelling at me. How dare she? How dare she? You're fired if I ever see you again. So yeah, she's like, she's getting on my nerves and I'm trying to be cool about it. And it got to the point where she kept doing this, picking at the necklace. So then I turned over and I grabbed a little piece of her hair and I'm like, oh my God, split ends. And then I dropped her hair and all her friends started cracking up, but they had to stay cool because that's her friend, right? There was a dynamic that she's their friend, not my friend. And or rather I'm not their friend, and so she got like super mad and she started really getting in my face, and I got to the point where I stopped. I was like, listen, I can't say B, can I say B word?
Sure.
Sweet. So I was like, listen, I've been trying to be real cool with you. I don't know what your deal is, but if you're gonna continue to be a ridiculous bitch, I'm just gonna leave. Wow. So I was like, you have a good night, take it easy, I'm done. So I turned around and most people would have been like, yeah, I wouldn't have. That seems fair if she was acting like that the whole time. So I walk away. I start walking around. It's one of those circle tables, high tops. I walk around. She has a glass of wine, stands up, picks up her glass of wine, and whips the wine over the table past her friends.
Wow.
Like she had some aim going, right? Nails me right in the face. And I've never gotten a drink in the face before, right? So I've never had that. So only one and only time. It was mind blowing. I was actually really upset that night. So she gets me in the face. I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And there was a crowd. It was a big crowd.
Yeah.
So, but I rub my eyes and then I open my eyes and there's literally within the time that I've cleaned the alcohol out of my eyes, a circle of people have formed around me and they're all staring at me. And I'm like, what is going on, dude? And I leaned against the table. I didn't even know what to do. I just stopped and I leaned against the table. And I'm looking at this chick like, I wish I could stab you right now. I've never had that happen in my life. And then here's the icing on the cake, right? Some dude, I don't even know where this guy came from. He just pops out of the crowd, walks up to me. He's like, bro, you probably need to leave. I was like, what? And I left. I was like, if I was a white dude, I would be beat red, dude. My face was hot. And on top of that, here's the, and like even the guy, my friend that told me to go into that group,
Yeah.
he left. He didn't even tell me he was leaving. He just dipped out, right?
Sure.
I was like, what? So I find him, I call him, I was like yelling, right? This chick dumped alcohol in my face. I'm freaking out. And I chase him down, and he's like, tries to calm me down. He's like, hey, just shake it off, bro. Blah, 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 right? So I'm like, so he invites me out. He's like, let's go out again. So I was like, okay. So I'm just going to shake it off. We'll do it again next day, right? Next day, he goes up to a couple of chicks at another high top. And this was in, BBC. It was in BBC. And so we go to BBC, talk to these chicks, and, you know, chit chat. And one of them goes, it's my birthday. And he's like, oh, cool. Happy birthday. And the other girl goes, you should buy us shots. And he's like, well, I'm not going to buy you shots, but, you know, happy birthday. You know, I'm glad for you. And then she goes, well, you can leave. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, whatever, bitch. And he walks away. And I heard him say it. I thought it was actually hilarious, right? So he walks away. Because he's like, you know, like, how are you going to treat me like that? You know, I'm just saying hi. And he walks away. So this chick, they get mad. They're very mad, right? She's not getting away with this. So one of them gets up, and the birthday girl stands behind the girl that gets up. And it was weird. You never see people walk. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like if you and I are walking down the sidewalk, but for some reason I just decide to walk behind you the whole time and still continue conversing with you.
Sure.
That's how they were walking, right? And so the one walks up to my buddy, and the birthday girl standing behind her. And, you know, so she points to her birthday girlfriend behind her, and she's like, you should apologize to my friend. You were mean. I was like, dude, it's not my fault. She was acting like,
happy birthday.
I
How's that mean?
Yeah, I'm not going to apologize to her. If she was acting up, she probably deserved what she got. And she's like, well, fine. She steps to the side, and the birthday girl had premeditated this, was holding a drink in her hand, and hits him in the face with the drink. 2 nights in a row. We both... Like, I get nailed and he gets nailed, and now it's me calling him out. He's like, I'll do this to her. What a bitch! He couldn't even compose himself. He's freaking out and stuff. And of course, you know, the dynamic usually is like, because we went up. I mean, the bartender saw it. He's like,
Sure.
what? And the doorman had seen it.
Sure.
And they're like, and we're like, why aren't you kicking her out? Did you see that nuts crap she just pulled?
Yeah.
And he starts looking at her, and she throws a fit. She runs away like a kid. She's like, no, don't throw me out. And she's already drunk, right? So she runs away to the other side of the bar, and we're like, forget it. And we left. That I will never forget that. But that was like, you know, that's a true test. Like, first of all, it's like, it was, I guess it was inevitable, because at that point in time, I had done so many approaches. I had never experienced anything like that, and for the most part, I had a really great time.
Well, do you think that's because it reached some level of saturation, that the lines had been played out?
The lines for sure.
Because the thing that gets me is about that second story, is that obviously that whole universe got a lot of backlash from the female universe, I guess.
Right.
Certainly talk shows, and certainly columnists and whatnot just really came down very hard on that. But isn't it interesting that those women formulated that plan before they went out that night? Here, we'll say it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Guys will come up to the table, will talk about how hot we are. You'll say it's your birthday, and we'll get them to buy us shots.
Well,
and that's, I mean, isn't that just the same game of a different flavor being played on the guy? Oh, really?
100%.
It's your birthday? Yeah, I'd love to buy you some
100%.
shots. And you know, I have 4 sisters. I can't say that I never wasn't sitting there when someone said, "Oh yeah, I'm not paying for a drink tonight." As she's making a selection, you know, she's fixing a shirt to reveal lower,
right?
And one sister says, "Geez, you look like a fucking tramp." Or
boom, 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 boom. See, that would have been perfect. We had
you look like a tramp. See, that's the thing. I'm using the actual words that somebody said.
Yeah, fair.
So that's, you know, I'm doing that, and she's. I'm just trying to adjust things in the studio here right now a little bit to give so Evans doesn't look like he's fallen out of the booth trying to talk on the radio. But we just, you know, I mean, that was back in the late 70s, early 80s. I'm
Right.
sure it's been going on for 1,000 years. That, hey, look, I can wear my leopard skin, my leopard hide Wilma Flintstone dress a little cut over, torn over to the side, so I
Right.
can, so some guy will notice me.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies, there's no mystery why you put the lipstick on, why you put the makeup on,
Right.
why you wear the. I mean, I saw my wife when I was married wore clothing before we were married that she never wore again. Right after the wedding, that clothing never came out ever again. And you won whatever. And so take the uniform off. The game's over, I guess. And so it's that time that. The fact that some guys finally stopped getting their heads beat against the wall, and
Right.
Hey, sorry,
what-
I know I'm not making any points here by saying that, but I think that's really the reality of what went down.
That's why, guys, just sit back and let them come to you. Just do that. Just sit back.
Is that
let
it?
them come to you. Yeah.
Is that
I
it?
disagree.
Well, that was always, that's how my.
They won't come out of the woodwork at you?
Some of them will.
Oh, okay.
Some of
Those
them
aren't
will.
the ones you want.
No, there's nothing wrong with. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman approaching you. I mean, isn't that what they fall for? They're like, we want to be independent, we want to be aggressive. Well, then congratulations, you get to do
Yeah.
that. So that's cool. But I think there's like, it's this game, man. It's like there's a constant game of like men or women and who doesn't give enough to who or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been going on forever.
Well,
and nobody wants to just be like, hey, it's cool that you want to like be a better person or be more attractive and stuff. You know
Yeah,
what
I think
mean?
in a more chivalrous chase time, I think of the first girl that I kind of tried to catch up with on a walkathon because someone said, "Oh, Sandy thinks you're cute" or whatever. I mean, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of. I guess kind of third-party endorsement and certainly information sharing that, technically we're doing the same thing today with Facebook and Google Plus and things
Sure,
like that.
sure.
I'm just going to keep saying Google Plus from now on.
Google
I'm not
Plus.
going to say
Google Plus.
Facebook anymore. Forget Google, forget Facebook. Go to Google Plus. Drive this ridiculous IPO. I want to have happen to Facebook what happened to MySpace as soon as Rupert Murdoch bought it. As soon as they, cashed out and made their billions. I want Facebook to die a quick, horrible death.
Zuckerberg does not care.
So please go to Google Plus and sign up there. You can friend me there. It's Bren Damaged at Google Plus. So it's googleplus.com/Bren Damaged. You can find me there under the same thing.
Dope.
Sam Caban is on there as
Yep.
well, so you can find him there. Jason Evans is on Google Plus as well.
I have no idea.
Are
I don't
you?
know how to get into it.
You don't know how to get into
No,
it yet?
I know I signed up
You know
for it.
you
I
signed
have
it,
no
yeah.
idea what my code
just
is.
just open up your email account. You're in.
Yeah.
That's
so if you
it.
open a
It's real
Google
easy.
Mail, yeah, you're in.
gotta
And you had to have one to get in, so you're there.
Boom.
Sorry, it's so easy. It's so easy, but the
So
feed is
easy.
weird. But anyway, that's not where I was
All
going.
right, so the chicks
Sorry.
and the drinks and stuff.
But there was always that third party endorsement and the social acceptance of, hey, that girl likes you. But it was not because of the cool profile that you'd created on a fictitious website, a website that allows you to just, create stuff out of thin air. You actually had to be a good person. You actually had to be whatever somebody was looking for.
What?
Yeah, that's the way that goes.
Yeah, but dude, I
don't have tattoos on my knuckles either, so I don't know how that universe blends
These are
together.
not tattoos. This is pen.
You
That's
just,
what I tell
you
my
just make it
daughter.
new every day.
That's what I tell my daughter.
Is that what you do? Yeah. Every morning, honey, I get up.
doesn't believe me
And
since
then I
she's
wash
been
my
three.
hands vigorously before every meal. And every time I go to the bathroom. So you're going to come home, your daughter's going to have, some love on one hand and hate on the other hand,
Death.
tattooed. But, no, so, but that was the thing was that
Yeah.
I did that. They came to me. I remember being in like high school
Yeah.
and this girl's mom came up to me. And she was like, "Oh, you're a very nice boy, and my daughter thinks you're great." And I'm like, "That's my opening. That's my in. Is that her mom is like
hey, it'll happen.
pimping her out?"
There's no limit to how you can get
Exactly.
hooked up
Exactly.
with people.
So,
and women
no, I
or whatever.
like just being me, and if someone can tolerate who the heck I am, I said heck, and if they can tolerate,
get $1
I'm
back.
taking this thing to 1970. I'm taking this thing to 1954.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna
Roll call,
Mayberry this
darn
thing.
it.
Yeah, Yeah, we're gonna Mayberry this thing. So no, it's just.
But yeah, I had a bunch of chicks do that to me, but back when I like I had no clue. You know what I mean? I would buy shots or whatever for people.
Sure.
They don't appreciate it. They don't care. For them. It's just free stuff.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
just accumulating.
And they understand that you're doing it because you think they're attractive and you're trying to get somewhere. So.
But I won't let anything like that happen to you. We'll stick together tonight.
Yep, they do that. They pregame.
Yep.
I talk about everything. I've heard them.
And that's been going on forever.
Yeah.
So when finally somebody puts it in book form on the guy side, it's like all of a sudden the game's up. Oh, somebody figured out the code. Now we're going to call them jerks for doing it because, they really, it's really kind of how the government works everything too. So
yeah, if you find something, they call you like a weirdo and a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna break into this. This is a very stimulating conversation, but coming up here at. Coming up at 8:15 tonight is the MKE Funny. You've been hearing a little bit of Jason Evans tonight. It's the MKEfunny.com half hour. Miguel Rivera is going to be in here for an interview tonight, but Jason has got a whole boatload of tickets. He's got a boatload, if that boat carries 16 people, of tickets to the Jimmy Walker Show out at Joker's Comedy Club, 11,400 Silver Spring Road. It's a little road behind Silver Spring Drive, just at around Lover's Lane and Silver Spring. But here is a little taste of Jimmy Walker Dynamite.
I have arrived here from the ghetto myself. Thank you very much. I'm here on the exchange program. Y'all can imagine what they sent over there. People always ask me about the ghetto. People ask me, hey Jim, how can y'all live in the ghetto with all those cockroaches and everything like that? I think cockroaches are probably the cleanest animals on earth. Really, because every time you see them, they're in the bathtub. But no, man, people always ask me about the ghetto. They say, hey, Jim, how can you live in the ghetto? There ain't no Christmas spirit in the ghetto. You ever heard that over here? Good, because that's a falsehood. That's a hood of a false. Because I was up in the ghetto last Yuletime event, saw a great event going down. Dig this. Little old lady's walking down the street. She falls down. And in the great Yuletime tradition, she laid there for a full 5 minutes before somebody snatched her pocketbook. So don't tell me there ain't no spirit up there. We doing it. Making progress. I'm glad to see we have so many black folks out here tonight. Hats on as usual. I don't know why we have to wear our hats. I guess it's to keep the sun off our heads. Even at night, just in case the sun slip out. I remember the first job I ever had to go out and get. Guy asked me on a job application, says, hey, brother. That's what they had in the black job applications. Hey, brother. Then they had that Puerto Rican, hey, amigo. Caucasian had, mister. What is the last job you had? I says, I was working during the 67 riots. They said, bring in proof. I brought in 2 color televisions and a stereo. Black folks doing so well, man, so well. I tell you the truth, I'm glad them slavery days are over too, you know what I mean? I'm glad all that mess over, because if slavery was still here, I'd be out in the field picking Dacron, polyester or something.
There is Jimmy Walker going to be at Joker's Comedy Club this weekend. If you want a shot at some tickets, call into 414-935-2951 at that's the number to call. Jason will tease. We're teasing that now for Jason's segment of the show, and you have your chance to win some tickets. Show times are 7:15 and 9:30 on Friday and Saturday, the 23rd and 24th. So I'm sorry, 25th and 26th, and it's going to be just a great. It's going to be a great time out there at Joker's Comedy Club. Great club. Great atmosphere there. I love the layout of the room, and just it's a good place for comedy. So just enjoy yourselves out there, and we're going to give you a couple different opportunities and ways to get a hold of those tickets for the show. There's going to be 2 pair at every show. So if you have a specific time you can get there, make sure fingers are on the buttons, panelists, and we'll get you set up. So. Something clipped us there.
That was my bad. I yanked on the cord with my head.
All right, sorry about that. I never can figure out why the lights go out at like 7:30 in here.
It's energy savings.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because it gets dark and the globe lights don't throw enough light or whatever. But we normally sit bathed in light, and then all of a sudden we stop being bathed in light. And so I work by computer screen light, and I feel like it's the good old days of the Amish era when. So what are we, Amish?
When they lit up their homes by computer screen.
Yeah. Way back in the
It's dark.
dawn of the new millennia. So I went through something this past week on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was Wednesday. I had to get a new battery for my primary mode of transportation, and oh my goodness, I do not have. This is one of those weird moments where you realize I don't have $100. I don't have $100 to be able to just go, oh, time to get a battery. And the worst part of it was I had the 100, and I had spent it in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. That'll be awesome. I won't have to borrow toilet paper from any restaurant that I pop into. Leave with a bulge under my coat. I'll just be able to go buy some things that I need to live on modern existence. And nope. I have no idea how and why it happened. It was just simply everything was working out awesome. The car was fine. I'd been using it all day. I stopped in at my house, ran inside, came back out, and just.
Whoa.
So I just grabbed like a McDonald's napkin. And I went out, opened up the hood, and if you wipe off the label on top of the battery, depending on how responsible the shop that was purchased at is, they'll punch out the little holes on the battery for the year and the month. That it was.
The acid hasn't eaten the battery.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on how long it's been there and how, your driving style and how aggressive you are, and how crappy the battery was originally, and. The battery was a 48-month Fleet Farm battery, and it was put in 7 years and 2 months prior. Whoa. So to get 98 months out of a 48-month battery is more than slightly impressive.
I gotta go back there.
And I couldn't. So I just got the 7 year. I got the 96-month battery from. I guess that's 84-month battery from the good folks at AutoZone on North Avenue, 2400 block of North Ave. If you need some help, the guys there were super awesome, and just let me borrow the wrenches to get that put in, and so zippity doodah, just rolled out of there with a new battery. But it was $105 after the core charge, and that's their base battery. That's
why you go to Farm and Fleet.
Oh, sorry, you got to come up there.
That's why you go to Farm and Fleet.
But you're gonna still pay $75 for a 7-year battery, 750 cold cranking amps. It's a nice battery.
You save a couple bucks for toilet paper or whatever.
Well, I get it, but the drive to Germantown or to whatever it is out there, Menominee Falls, to go to that Fleet Farm. I guess that is technically Germantown on the north side of County Line Road. That's a 40-mile round trip.
I'd go out there for you. Next time.
Next time your
I'll
battery
wait
dies.
a week until you're getting ready to go shopping.
I used to sell those batteries. I used to install them for AAA.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They were like $150. Like I would upsell.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, anyone from Chicago, I would upsell.
Oh, they
at
got
least
pinched.
$50.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then try to put it in.
That you have to make that move.
And usually mess it up. Which is why I don't work there anymore.
Fired.
Did they decide that you were?
I put in my resignation.
You resigned.
You're just
You
not the
officially
right fit.
resigned. Well, it's just I was just thrilled that that it was nothing more than that. I was absolutely convinced it was going to be okay. You just dropped $105 on the battery, dropped the new battery in, and then nothing, and it would actually be the alternator that was messing up, or the voltage regulator or something. That it wasn't just going to be the simple. So thank you, universe, for shining down on me, making my life wonderful.
You're welcome.
I have a battery story.
Might as well.
Do you mind?
Do you mind?
We'll
Mr.
indulge
O'Day?
your battery story. Go.
All right, I had a Mustang. It was a 4-cylinder, and it would go dead in the winter to the point where I had to plug it in.
Yeah.
So I went to Farm and Fleet and bought a 1,500 cold cranking amp battery and shoved it under the hood. In fact, I couldn't shut the hood. I had to mold it around the battery, and that thing spun like a top.
Oh,
man,
sure.
forever.
Sure.
And then one time it still didn't start, so I put a can of ether down the carburetor. You're only supposed to use like one spray thing.
Yeah.
And I put a can down there, which resulted in a huge flame ball coming out of my car and blowing out a piston. But I still drove it to La Crosse.
So on 3
Nice.
cylinders, you managed to force a Fox body Mustang across the state.
Yeah. Smoking on the inside. It would smoke on the inside while I was smoking it, but it would smoke and come up through the center console, and I'd have to roll down the windows so the smoke could pour out
Wow.
of my... But
That's
I was in love, so I
impressive.
went to La Crosse. With my big old battery.
I'll do anything.
But so that smoke is obviously exhaust coming from a broken exhaust, either at the cat or something, you know, after the cat.
Broken
And
gasket or something.
Yeah, and you're I mean, it's not even you're kind of like from a mechanical family.
Yeah.
Your dad is a high performance competition motor builder.
Yeah.
He has a fully competent shop that the act of replacing or correcting an exhaust leak or replacing an exhaust gasket manifold, like nothing.
He doesn't want to work on my cars. He
I'm
doesn't
not
work
saying-
on his own.
I'm
His
not
car right
suggesting.
now
I'm
is a-
not suggesting that you were ever that type that wanted Daddy to solve his problems, but you had access to all of that equipment and an open shop floor, and so what's your excuse?
There was
Lazy,
no excuse.
lazy,
It was just a battery
lazy
story.
son of a gun.
It's just
Hey, it's just a battery story that's gone bad and turned into a personal assessment of your life and causing you to question.
Daddy issues.
So how long ago did this go down?
Oh, wow. When I was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you were in love with somebody else then?
No.
The same
this is-
person?
Yeah. No, wait. I wasn't 7. I was probably more like 19 now.
Same person.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Holy cow.
Yeah, I went to La Crosse. and
Love
bought a car.
conquers all.
Absolutely did.
So where did she live in La Crosse?
On campus.
Was she going to school down
Yeah,
there?
we were partying.
Okay.
Party time.
Yeah.
They sell, at the time, this was odd, but they sold liquor at the gas stations, which is extremely
yeah.
convenient.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the Quick Trips over there had full liquor departments. They were amazing.
Largest 6-pack in the world there.
At the old style, the former old
Absolutely.
style
Yep.
facility. I think what's his name? Leinenkugel's now owns that, and they're brewing stuff. Or
Don't
else
try to
some-
drink them, they are concrete.
What, Liney?
No, the world's largest 6-pack.
Oh, that.
They're actually not beer. They actually
The big
contain the grains that are used in the malting process and
It's
the hop
actually
process.
a picture, but it is the largest 6-pack in the world. I'm just saying, don't drink it. They are concrete.
It's not a picture. It's real. Didn't you ever go down 3rd Street and see the actual real largest 6-pack in the world?
Yeah,
It's right there.
Yeah, it's painted on silos.
Right.
Yes, I'm just saying, don't drink it. I'm trying to be informative.
It's awesome. You're a helpful guy.
Thank you.
Awfully helpful. There you go. Jason Evans being the helpful man that he is. See, it's not just a new phenomenon for him doing things for other people. He's been doing that since he was driving an old piece of crap 3-cylinder Mustang with a battery poking the hood up and a leaky exhaust. I'm surprised you didn't get more brain damage. You're pretty messed up, but I figured you might have more brain damage
I
from
hide
it.
it very well.
You hide it very well. Yeah. Is that all
I
the
got
makeup?
issues.
Or
There's big issues. You want to go into it?
No, we don't have time.
All right.
So we're going to be bringing Jason back on here in about 8 minutes or so with Miguel Rivera, assuming Miguel Rivera shows up on time for his interview session. He's not here, is he? No, he's not here. But
you can't miss him.
Yeah, right. I'm actually worried about the stage here when the three of us are
No, it's
up
cool.
here,
You
so.
fixed it.
Yeah, you got that all
Give it the
screwed down.
screwdriver.
No, it
That's
didn't
awesome.
work. They
Oh, it
didn't have
didn't
the
work?
Proper depth of a screwdriver.
Oh, we're
but
done.
They said they said they were gonna talk to someone else and have it
Okay.
fixed.
Cool.
I don't know if they have a maintenance staff.
Riverwest Film and Video Maintenance Team.
I'm just trying to do my part.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
Thank you.
For bringing to their attention a significant safety issue that could potentially be very dangerous. And
Take that
like I
to the
say,
foot.
Jason Evans always helping out, always thinking of his fellow man. He's right there. So yeah, it's now 10 after 8 on 8 after 8 on Monday the 21st here on Riverwest Radio. You're listening to ExtempoRadio. So I don't know if we want to give this just 5 minutes, but I did want to quick get a mention in of the 4-Hour Body book from Tim Ferriss that you've been starting to get some research done on and starting to grab some of the information out of that. So,
Well, like I said, I haven't got the book yet because I started reading the 4-Hour Work Week, and I was just interested in it because I'm starting the coaching business, and at the same time I'm doing the martial arts thing, So I was like, well, how can I, make it a little easier, more effective, less time consuming, things like that. They had a lot of great ideas in there. But he also wrote a book called The 4-Hour Body, and then he has a blog online called The 4-Hour Blog. So I went and checked out the blog, and I started YouTubing his videos and things like that. Tim Ferriss, doing his speeches on The 4-Hour Body, and he talked about all the ridiculous research he had done worldwide just to, find out what the body's capable of and what's good for the body and what kind of stuff can be used to, fix joint issues and, create muscle and weight loss and, peak performance and whatnot. And he's an extremely smart guy. I mean, he's one of those guys that just seems like out of the world smart because he's so he's not really, I guess he's just very student driven. So people look at people that like to learn a lot and they go, wow, that's because the guy, has the balls to just pick up a book and finish it and do that over and over. So, he's a smart guy. But on one of his speeches, here's my issue. I had been trying to drop weight for a while because I like, in Taekwondo, people like to be light. The lighter you are, the faster you can kick and the harder you can nail somebody in the head with a good roundhouse. So I looked into his stuff because I had spent years stuck between, the heaviest I ever got. I was working in an Italian restaurant, so I ended up like 200 pounds. So that was my heaviest. And then after that, when I tried to drop weight, I could never get under 185. That was it was like a number that was just not happening, So for a while, I'd fluctuate between 180 and 195, and no matter what I did, what kind of workouts I did, and I'm doing 1.5 to 2 hour hard workouts 4 or 5 times a week. I was insane, dude. And still my weight was not dropping. I was not seeing any significant change. So I got so I started following the idea behind, Tim Ferriss, where he's like, you want to do a minimum amount of work and you want to put certain things in your body to create a specific result, which I was trying because I was doing supplements and all that, but still none of it seemed to work. I even tried stackers, where you get crazy, and those are just not good for you. You get so shaky, it's not it sucks. It's like drinking 30 cups of coffee or some crap like that. And you're sleeping you're feeling like you're jittering before you go to sleep. It's not good. But he had this tip that where he says in the first half hour within waking up to drink or to basically consume 30 grams of protein within your first 30 minutes of waking up. So you wake up, you're kind of groggy-eyed. The first thing you should be doing is getting that intake. And I've only deviated it's been a week and a half. I've deviated once, because I think I had a late night. My friends and I went out and partied, to like a bonfire, and we all crashed over there. So like I woke up and I didn't have like the protein to take at the time, so I didn't take it maybe until like 2 hours later.
Okay.
But other than that, always within the first half hour. And then okay, got it. And then crap, see now you just ruined me. All right, I'm gonna hit it quick. Okay, so within that week and a half, I did nothing but that. And since then, I have not broken past 190, and I have gone down to 183, and I've seen it happen twice. I'm still fluctuating in in a certain area, but it's working, and I'm doing a minimal amount of work. I do about 3 workouts a week, most likely. Yeah, I've been doing 3 workouts a week from 25 to 30 minutes, which is way less than I was just mentioning. Obviously, 2 hours like a day down to like an hour and a half a week is a big difference. And yet I'm still seeing muscle gains and I'm still seeing weight loss. It's amazing. Fat loss, not weight loss.
Right.
Fat loss.
And that's huge. I mean, if you can get that kind of economy and get that kind of brevity, that's a good thing. That's a huge thing. So, all right, we are coming up here on 8:15. This is on the first and third. Well, I'm going to hit you to this. You're listening to this.
You're listening to ExtempoRadio on RiverwestRadio.com.
And coming up right now, we are welcoming in Jason Evans tonight with MKEfunny.com. This is on the first and third Mondays of every month. On the first and third Mondays, we're going to have Jason Evans in from 8:15 to 8:45, and just talking things comedy here in Milwaukee, and it's just that's the cool thing that's going to happen here, just to give the show a slightly different circumstance, slightly different angle. We're just doing the first round of logistics on this. We're adding a 4th mic for the first time to RiverwestRadio.com's Extempo Radio. Give me a level there, Miguel Rivera. Turn that mic on and see if. Let's see. Let's give that a shot.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 and 5.
Yeah, how's it going? 1 2 check.
I'm not able to hear me. Try again.
Mic check 1 2.
I'm hearing a little bit. Let me just see if I can get you. Go ahead.
Mic check 1 2 3.
Oh, I don't got you yet. I want Miguel right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just can you give me some?
Mic check 1 2.
There we go.
Okay.
Brendan O'Day is the man.
All right. We're gonna have to just really hit you hard, and it's the way that is. So, all right. Well, this is the segment, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time here on Extempo Radio. We've got Jason Evans in tonight from MKEfunny.com. Probably the most comprehensive comedy scheduling website, some of the most entertaining interviews and most informative information that you're going to find about the comedy scene in Milwaukee and all of southeastern Wisconsin, and now expanding to the entire state. So no further ado, please welcome Jason Evans.
Thank you very much, man. Did you get that 50 I sent you? No?
You're good.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much, Brendan. Yeah, we're going to be doing interviews, giving you interviews from local and national comics. Please check out the site if you haven't seen it before, mkefunny.com. And all that information's on there. Every show that's going on. Interviews with local comics are on there. We just started doing video interviews also. And all different types of information. A whole thing about comedy in Milwaukee. It's all there. No need to go anywhere else. It's all there for you. Links to everything, comedy clubs, local gigs that are happening, and national gigs also.
Yep. Cool stuff. It is. It's a there's every now and again something comes along that just really resonates with the people that are affected by it, and I think across the board the comedy community certainly in the greater Milwaukee area has an extreme affection for what you're doing, in that you cover everything. And that's the amazing thing, is the completeness with which. So if you're a comedian out there and you have an event coming up, you simply submit it to Jason, and it's up immediately. I've never seen. I've been trying to get on the AV Club's calendar for a year. It's impossible. Shepherd Express, very difficult, but I've gotten on once. Actually, the one that's probably the easiest in the old world media universe is JS Online's Q calendar.
Yeah.
They're pretty responsive there. But as far as web updates and things like that, there's really nobody that's doing what you're doing.
I don't exist without the comics. So I'm representing the scene, trying to represent the whole scene, and without comics giving me shows to promote or put up on the site, even, I have nothing. I have no site at all. So even if you want an interview with us and put you up on our main page, we'll do that anytime. Just let me know, and we'll do it. And tonight we have Miguel in. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, not too bad at all.
Gotta be right on mic. In your.
How you guys doing? I'm doing good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
Don't
How's
cut
that?
it.
Better?
Just hold it here, but on mic. There you go.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what you been up to, man?
Oh, nothing. Just doing a sit up every so often. Get in shape.
We were just talking about getting in shape, man. We were talking
This
about doing
gorgeous woman I'm
exercise.
stalking. I need to keep up with her.
Well, there you go, man. There you go. You've been doing a lot of stuff, man, lately. I know you're always doing shows. And how long you been doing stand-up now in the city?
I've been doing it here in Milwaukee for about 2.5 years, 3 years. I've been doing stand-up for about 4 years total.
Where'd you start? Where was your first open mic in the city?
Well, I started at a Batman comedy show.
Oh, okay, okay.
Pretty much, and,
You want to just have him grab mine?
they just started.
Yeah, we made. Can we do that?
Okay,
Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
I was gonna try and switch you guys in before,
It's
but
all
I didn't
good.
know how that was gonna work. We're gonna
Sure, no
just.
problem.
This is.
Here, grab mine. No. Keep that there for
Oh,
you.
okay, got you. All right, sorry, man.
Hold on.
All right.
Is there anything? Anything? Yeah. It's just too low. We needed phantom power on the board, and
How's
we weren't
that?
getting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be perfect. So
Good. All right.
Good there.
So you started out with the Badman Comedy Tour over at the Times?
Yeah, at Times Cinema over there, located on 59th and Elite. That was my first comedy show here in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
And I was excited, and I got embraced by the crowd. And, you know, I didn't get booed or got a tomato thrown at my face. So it went well.
That says a lot on that crowd, man. That's
Yeah,
a tough crowd. It can
Definitely.
be tough, man.
Yeah, it was. But it was awesome. It was a great turnout.
Cool. Now you got you just started off recently with the Laugh It Off Entertainment. Can you tell us about that? What's that all about?
Yeah, Laugh It Off Entertainment is just me and a couple buddies just decided to make our own little comedy crew. You know, I mean, what better way to say comedy than laugh it off?
Yeah.
You know, if a cat gets run over, it's sad, but laugh it off. If you come home from work and your wife's having a threesome with your best friend and your cousin, laugh it off. You know? You just got to laugh it off. You know
All
what
right.
I mean?
How many shows have you started doing? When did you start that Laugh It Off thing?
We recently started. Our first show was actually March 17th, St. Patrick's Day at La
Okay.
Esquina Bar.
Yeah.
And we had a great turnout, and now we're trying to move to the south suburbs.
Yeah,
West
now you're
Dallas.
at Danny's Lounge over
Yeah.
on 1900 South 60th Street now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, what are you doing over there? Why don't you let the people know what's going on over there? You got a lot going on over there.
Yeah, actually, every Thursday of this month, we've been having a comedy show. We'll have a comedy show, and then the following Thursday, we'll have a Laugh It Off competition where the top funniest comedian gets a $75 cash prize. And then we just keep alternating our Thursdays. So this Thursday coming up, we have a Laugh It Off competition. You know, we got Damo the Great, Maddie Fields, and a couple other comedians
Awesome.
up there.
And how do they get a hold of you if they want to participate in that?
Well, if they could either contact us via Facebook. If you're not a Facebook friend, you can contact us at laughitoffent@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you just pretty much email us your information, and we'll be more than happy to put you on.
Awesome. And if I'm right, I think that's the only paid comedy competition in the city. Is that right, Brennan? Yeah.
As far as I know.
The only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pays out
on every
if you win
on every night.
Yeah,
You know, that's a cool thing that they're supporting it in that way. Every other show, or every time they're having the competition, each night Danny's putting up $75, and that's a great thing. I mean, that's a real cool thing. And I think it's driven off the door, correct?
Yeah, it's out the door, and if we don't get enough at the door, well, hey, I'll see you when I get paid, right?
And that's a nice venue too that you got
is.
there, because there's a back room, which is exactly what you need for comedy, especially in the city, man. That's nice.
And I just wanted to give credit. That $75 prize is being paid by Laugh It Off. That is not. It's not coming from the bar's gracious enough to give them a great venue. It's a great room. The pool tables are a little weird. We're working on the dart machines and shutting those off.
Right.
I unplugged
Keeping
those.
them off, yeah.
I unplugged them at the last show, and then the guy the manager
owner
walks
came back
right
up and
plugs them
turned
back
it
in.
right back on.
Nobody's playing the dart game, but now every joke is punctuated with beep beep beep, and that silly,
But you know what
triple 20
outshadows
shot.
that is that Mike's the comics mic is broadcasted through the entire bar.
It does go through the entire bar, which is nice because it's really hilarious. When someone really hits one out of the park, you'll hear the whole bar laugh out in the other room.
In the other room.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, dudes, there's a show in here you could actually be listening to, right? You could come in and check this out and have an audience, and so I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to grow a pretty nice audience out there over time. People are going to hear about it.
It's a nice location, nice area.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So.
And West Dallas is great because it's right in the middle of the whole the whole city.
Yeah,
it's really centrally located.
Centrally located. I mean, if you're taking the 94, you get off on Holly Road, and you go a mile south, and you're there.
Yeah.
It's real easy and accessible to get to it. And their drink specials are not bad at all. They got dollar taps all night, and they got a fish, $10 fish bowls, which they really give you your drink in a fish bowl.
It is. There's got to be 15, 16 shots worth of alcohol in the
Most
thing.
definitely.
I've never seen anybody order more than 2, and the guy that I saw order 2.
Call the cab.
No. He's literally against the back, the bumper of his car, and it's like, dude, are you all right? He's like,
He's like, hey, which one's my car keys, right?
I'm just gonna wait here. And he just wasn't going anywhere, and it was just like, I think you're the only guy I've ever seen order 2 of those things. But yeah, it's a value. It's a good value.
Absolutely.
Down there at Danny's. And there's really good Mexican restaurants right across the street. There's La Palmas.
Las Palmas, you get a limited crab.
Yeah, they got the crab leg thing, and then there's that
Saturdays.
there's a little taco stand on the other side of the street.
Little Buena Vista.
Yeah, if you don't want to have the full meal thing, you just want to get some really good, authentic Mexican tacos.
Definitely.
People, this is not Taco Bell. This is not the Mexican offering at Applebee's.
This ain't Chipotle or Qdoba.
This is not Qdoba. This is a real Mexican taco. If you want to taste, they're not ladled in cheese and A1 steak sauce, fortified beef or anything like that. It's actual real,
It's real
cheese.
steak.
Ooh.
Man, I
There's
like
more
cheese,
steak than
man.
cheese.
It's a real great
I like
taco.
cheese, man.
So just if you get a chance, check that out. But more importantly, we're here to talk about the comedy, and it's a growing show, and it's I hope it gets some traction. All of you, both of you, all of you out in the western suburbs. If you're afraid to come to downtown Milwaukee, if you're afraid to get off of 43, this is your chance, is to stay out in the western suburbs. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. It's Burnham and 60th, and you don't have to feel like you're coming all the way downtown. You're not going to have to valet your car.
And I can't think of any other comedy in West Dallas except for Callahan's every once in a while. But I mean, that's a great market because there's no other comedy.
Yeah, there's certainly nothing regularly scheduled.
Absolutely
out there,
not. And this one, you're doing the competition every other week, and then followed up by that, you're doing a nice showcase, which is awesome, man. It's really cool stuff.
It's all about come out and support your local comedians because. We might not be the ones on TV, but we work as hard as they do.
Well, and certainly come on for some good entertainment. I mean, it's you don't even have to chalk this one up to supporting good comedy. Your first comedy competition winner was Jeff Lampton.
Yeah,
Jeff's been out for 9 years, he blew it out of the park, did a great set. The guy that came in second with him, Russ Martin,
unreal,
punched it, just did an amazingly great job in front of a ridiculously small crowd. So what I'm saying is, comedians will work their butts off for even
Absolutely.
$75 on the line. It's a really worthwhile show. You should really take
And
the
the
time
money
to
makes
check
a
it out.
big, it makes a difference.
does.
It turns it from, something that would just be an open mic type
not an open
atmosphere
mic, right.
to
Yep.
something where they're going to make you laugh. They're going to be working it as hard as they can up
Exactly.
there for anybody who's coming in. And if you miss that show, it's not good, man. You got to go there and
seriously,
check it out.
We got fat guys that'll take their shirts off and jump up and down to make you laugh.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Actually, the host of the show did that, and I think that's the only time I've ever seen people walked out of that show. God, he told that joke about getting slapped in the face with his man boobs, and there's no question now. That's really the way it went down. I can get that now. So it's a good time. It's always a good show, and it's really awesome.
And that's
stuff.
again this Thursday. There's the competition, and even if you're not a comic and you just want to come out and check it out, it's at Danny's Lounge, 1900 South 60th Street.
Especially if you're
Starts
not
at
a
9
comic,
o'clock.
come check it out. Especially if you're not a comic, and what we really, what I think the show really needs is we gotta start generating bodies there at 9. Get in the place at 8:45 so the show can kick right off at 9. There's always that weird little thing in the universe when you bring in a new show to a new venue.
Yeah.
If the place doesn't normally get going by, I don't know why bar owners sometimes think this, like, okay, we'll try something we've never done before. We won't do anything in particular to accommodate its particular style of delivery, but we'll put all the pressure on them to fill our room when we've never been able to put people in our room at 9 o'clock. But we'll just say it's all on you. So
Dude, they don't want to work.
yeah, there's always that, but there's that expectation that suddenly it's just gonna get hit out of the park, and what really what can really change that is if people start to come and support the comedy, and we can get that, you can get that show kicked off on time. 9 o'clock would be awesome. So only reason I'm talking about this is I don't want someone coming there going, I'll see a show from 9 until 10:30. I can push it till 10:45 on a Thursday night, but then the show doesn't kick off till 10 because the ownership is waiting for a larger crowd to develop.
yeah.
I don't want people to go, oh, now I got to leave halfway through the show.
Exactly.
So I like just a little more full disclosure that the show generally probably kicks off closer to 10. We still want you in there at 9, get some drinks in, enjoy some
Absolutely,
fellowship,
yeah.
hang out, and talk to the comics. But
it's a great environment.
but just know that as more people come to that room in a more timely fashion, the more it'll drive it to 9 o'clock. And
most
hey,
definitely.
I think they would appreciate that if you had a comedy show that went from 9 to 11 and then their regular crowd kind of comes in at 11. I've seen more people in there as we're leaving than as when we were even at the peak of the show.
Yeah. Right.
So they do have that dynamic where the place doesn't even really get going till 11 o'clock at night. And now we're trying to draw people down to an earlier time. And it's already starting to happen.
Yeah. It is,
A couple of times. You've had some regular folks show up that just kind of came in by accident, like, oh, there's a comedy show on. And now they're starting to pay attention to the comedy show. And started to come in a little bit earlier. So I saw some people coming in at 9:30 that we hadn't seen before 10:30 in the past.
Right,
And that's a cool thing. So I think this is heading in a beautiful
And
direction.
it's important to support it and to
thanks.
go out and support it. Just go out there. It's a great time. You're seeing live comics, that have worked on their material. That's original material. It's funny stuff. They've worked really hard, and it's really important to support a room that's just starting out, especially in anywhere in the city. It's important to come out and support any shows that are starting out. But what are your plans for the future with Laugh It Off Entertainment? What are your goals? What do you want to do? Do you want to open more rooms locally or run more showcases, or have you guys thought about it?
Well, yeah. Actually, we've been discussing about future plans of trying to open up rooms, more rooms on the south side, because the south side's pretty big.
Yeah.
So I want to make it convenient for people if they don't like traveling far,
Like seeing on the south side.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's so dry right now, So like right now when I mention comedy, they're like, "Whoa, comedy?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta check that out."
Kill it on the south.
That show you had at what's that bar?
Esquina Bar?
That was insane.
That was
that was a
turnout. We
great
had like
great
54
show.
People show up.
And
You
it was
know,
awesome
and it
room.
was
It's down in the
awesome room.
basement like
Yeah,
that,
lower
and,
level
and
hall.
it's quiet. It has its own bar.
Yep, its own
You know,
bar.
it was a really cool venue, man. And
Great you know, the DJ, that was actually a great comedy jam. We'll have 2 comedians perform, and then after 2 comedians perform, we'll have the DJ mix it up for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
do his thing, and then come back to two other comedians, and then he'll do another probably 7 minutes.
Also, the biggest
mix.
bouncers I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean,
man.
they were huge.
Yeah.
I said to the guy,
The one downstairs?
yeah, man. And upstairs, I was trying to get out after the show.
Yeah.
And he was like standing in front of the door, and I was just like, "Hey, man," and I shook his hand, like, "Hey, how you doing? Just." You know, how's it going? And he's like, "Oh, you wanted to leave?" I'm like, "Yeah, could I please? I'd really appreciate it." And he just moved to the side and opened the door for me. But I was like, "All right, man," because these guys are big, man. They're
Yeah,
big
the guy-
guys. But I felt, you know, I'm not from that area of town. You know, I'm
Right.
up from 108th,
Right.
And I felt completely comfortable there just because of the amount of people that are there,
Oh,
the
yeah.
security that's there, the guys. Everyone was awesome,
Everybody
man.
comes out to have a good time.
Absolutely, it was
Yeah,
a great time.
Our bouncer from that we had in the lower level was a personal buddy of mine, and I had to pick him up. And I got a Grand Prix, and
Yeah.
he made it look like it was a smart car, and I'm trying to get in it, you know. And
Yeah.
So then when I took him back, I had to take him back in the van, and he was still struggling. He's like 7'2",
He's
420
huge,
pounds.
man. He's a huge guy.
No lie, he's huge. And
Yup.
people don't believe
I
me
mean,
when I
if
say
you
it. As
think
soon as
you're-
they see him, they're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, dude, you weren't lying."
Yeah. If you
He's
think you're
huge.
bad and you think you're big and all
Yeah.
that stuff, don't ever think that because
Yeah, I had guys come in with their hats backwards, and all of a sudden he comes up to them like, "Take your head off," and they have deep voice coming from up top.
Yeah.
They're like,
It's way up,
yeah,
man.
no problem, bro,
Yeah.
no problem," and they'll take it off quick, you know. And
that's awesome.
you know, once they see him, everybody's there to have a good time.
Oh
So
yeah, it was a
it
great
was
time.
wonderful.
man.
It was a great turnout.
It was a great
Yeah,
time.
our plans, though, you know, we wanna get known city-wise, state-wise, kind of work our way outside border lines, you know.
Absolutely.
And let it escalate from there to something nationwide, hopefully one day. But I know everything, you definitely got to put in work to get results. So, you know, we're patiently going to try to take baby steps at this.
Well, whatever you need, man. MKE Funny is behind you
I
all the way.
appreciate it,
Whatever
man.
else you need, man. You know, I don't know what else what we can do for you, but we'll do whatever we can. So,
Oh, I appreciate it.
yeah. Now we're gonna be giving away
Give me a girl to
tickets.
give me a lap dance. That'd be great, too.
I will work on that, man. I'll work on that. Can you hook him up with someone, man? We're gonna give away tickets, man. If you guys want to call in, I forgot the number. I don't have it on me, Brendan.
It's 414-935-2951 here at riverwestradio.com. Show tickets for the upcoming Jimmy J.J. Walker Dynamite show coming up on the 25th and 26th at Joker's Comedy Club. That's 11,400 Silver Spring Road, West Silver Spring Road, out on the 45 in Silver Spring in the far reaches of Milwaukee. Safe as it looks. It's a good place. It's nice. They do a great job out there. Their security guards aren't that big, but those are some pretty big dudes.
They're pretty juiced
And
up.
there's some dudes.
And
so,
we thank them a
take
lot
care
for
of you.
working with MKE Funny to be able to have a chance to give away these tickets.
It was awesome.
It's a great deal. It's a $10 value to get in the door. 2-drink minimum still applies, but $10 value. And if you can't call in tonight, you can always email me at mkefunny@hotmail.com and tell me which shows you want, what times you want. There's Friday and Saturday shows, 7:15 and 9:30. So just tell me what you want. I'm giving away 4 tickets to each show. So, you can always email me. That was mkefunny@hotmail.com again. Or you can Twitter me at mkefunny and get your tickets.
Dynamite.
Get your tickets.
Didn't know if that was our phone or if it was the
no
shop's
idea.
phone. I was waiting to see the light
We
go.
have a first caller of the night.
So that's awesome. And those shows are Friday at 7:15 and 9:30, and you basically have 2 pairs, so 4 tickets for each show. 7:15 and 9:30 on Friday, and Saturday the 25th and 26th. That's this coming weekend. It's a great way to kick off Memorial Weekend. Is with one of the just premier comics, historically here in the world of comedy. Obviously, Jimmy Walker hit the scene, is just it's amazing.
And I'll be giving them away all week until I'm out of them. So I got 16 of them. Like I said, Jokers, we appreciate working with Jokers to get these tickets out there. It'll be a great time. I might be down there for one of those shows. Take some comics with me. Other comics love seeing other comics. So.
Oh yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
They're like, "Did you pay to get in?" No, jerk. Yeah,
it's a great time. So
that's the way they.
You got any other shows coming up for yourself that you're going to be in, Miguel?
None
coming up
at the moment. July 21st, we're trying to schedule a confirmation for July 21st for La Esquina Bar.
Okay.
And I believe Daryl Hill, Why Not 3, he's going to have me perform on the third Saturday as well.
Great. Yeah, I saw that. He posted that show up too.
Yeah.
So I was meaning to get out to his last show on Saturday, but there's awesome shows coming up. Not just Jimmy Walker at Jokers, but at Comedy Cafe. You can check all that out on MKE Funny. Also, don't ever forget Bonkers at Potawatomi Casino. That's a $5 show to come in there and see a national headliner. And if you have one of their Fire Keepers cards, it's free. A free show. You walk right in, you see national headliners.
Wonderful.
And it's amazing. It's one of the best kept secrets in Milwaukee, I think. They don't do a
Bonkers
lot
show?
Yeah, the Bonkers show down there is amazing. Awesome. It's an amazing show. And then we also have a lot of local shows. I think we got 4 or 5 open mics this week alone on the calendar. I think there's 3 or 4 open mics this week alone on the calendar. Like,
nice.
Don't forget about Wednesday for the open mic down there.
Oh yeah, there's a Wednesday open mic at the Stage Right Bar.
Yeah,
that is the Wednesday night open mic, Stage Right inside the Miramar. 7 p.m. 6:45 sign up, 7 to 9, and this week is actually 7 to 9:30. This is an interesting week. We've got a couple of things going on. At 7:10, we're going to debut. What is it called? Show Me the Funny is going to be debuted at 7:10 with your host Abu. It is a comedy game show where an audience member is plucked out of the audience, set on a chair, and 3 comedians, and I believe you're one of the comics.
I am.
And Miguel Rivera, myself, and I can't remember who the third is. We have a third comic who we have 90 seconds to make the person sitting in the chair laugh, and if we don't get them to laugh in that 90 seconds, they win a prize.
Yep.
If they win a second round, they win another prize, and if they win the third round, they actually get to pick a prize bag that's on a table. Hopefully we're going to get through about 3 comics. Or, I'm sorry, 3 contestants and have a nice little time of it. Knock it out in about 15 minutes. But the other thing that sets our show apart is we have a super slot every episode of our open mic. And this week's super slot participant, the show ends with 20 minutes of time for a touring comic. James Irvin Barry is in town and is going to be our super slot participant this time. Nice. James is literally traveling the country. He's out there. That guy is working his tail off, and so happy to have him as our headliner, as our super slot participant performer this time. And so it's going to be an amazing show. We're debuting the new Show Me the Funny, and James Irvin Barry closing out the show. So this is one of the things where I really try to set this show up to not be so much of an open mic as more of a show. It's certainly an open mic. It's the place for comics to come and work on their stuff. But if you want to see comics working on their newest material, putting together their set in the best possible way, that's when you know you're really kind of you're checking out a really cool thing. We do organize the show so we get a good mix of veterans and new people, so we try to keep the flow going, but to have a guy like James Barry coming in to close out the show, you literally, if you were in Minneapolis this last weekend, or if you were down in Indiana a week ago, you had to pay $20 to see James Irvin Barry perform. You had to listen to him shill his t-shirts at the end of the show, and you had to buy a t-shirt. That guy won't even let you out of the showroom unless you buy a t-shirt. I'm just totally kidding. I'm totally bagging on him right now. James Irvin Barry is one of the nicest guys you could possibly ever meet in this universe, and so he will be our super slot participant on Wednesday. That is in 2 days, and that's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be a huge.
And then
night.
you got to go to that because you got to get warmed up for the competition over at Danny's Lounge.
Yeah,
exactly right. Totally get yourself prepared for Thursday night out at Danny's Lounge, 1900 South 60th in West Dallas.
Yep.
The Laugh It Off Entertainment's every week show. Got a couple of more minutes. Why don't you go ahead and finish up with the Miguel here tonight? And
anything else you want to add, man? What do you think of the Milwaukee comedy scene since you started coming to it? What did you say, 2 years ago?
about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, how's it changed? Has it changed at all?
I loved it. It's actually growing. It's growing. It's growing pretty. These last couple years, it's growing pretty fast. I'll give it to it. Because like I said, I started in Chicago, but when I came out here for an open mic, was at Rounding Third with Dave Odd from Chicago brought it out, and first show was all right. It was like 20 people. Second show, it was like 2, and that's all I heard for comedy at the moment. But then 9 months later, there's like open mics 3 times a week. So it's evolving, and local comedians are coming out, and that's everybody's gifted in a certain way. So if you got a talent to make people laugh, go hit an open mic. Get on stage. There's no more other wonderful feeling for me than to be on stage and just make people laugh. So if you feel like you got a talent on that, come on out to the open mics.
Absolutely. The Milwaukee comedy scene has to be, and I haven't been to another scene, but I would assume that has to be one of the friendliest scenes for new comics coming up. I mean, when you see a new comic up, we get excited. Like, other comics that have been around for a long time start to get excited and be like, oh, yeah, this guy's, he's cool. He's trying it out. We really admire people that get up there for the first time and do their thing. And it's important that we keep that, man. The really nice community that embraces the new guys coming in. Definitely. You know what I mean? No one's going to yell at you that it was horrible. No, because we all know, we've all been there. We know how it is. And
not everybody could be funny, but not everybody can go on stage.
Absolutely,
and that's what matters,
Yeah, it's a big risk that way. So, and just to plug myself, I will be at Joker's on Thursday hosting a class show for Lee L.A. Lakin. Has a comedy class, and then he always has a showcase class on Thursdays at Joker's. But anyone's invited, so I'll be hosting that. I just wanted to let you guys know that. If you want to see me.
That's this Thursday?
That's this Thursday.
What time is that?
I believe 7 o'clock.
That's a 7 o'clock show. The coolest thing about that is you can hit that show and then still make it down to the Danny's Lounge show, to the Laugh It Off Entertainment. You can make a real night of it this Thursday. So head on out to Joker's, 7 p.m. That's the Lee L.A. Lakin Comedy School graduation show. Those have been particularly good recently, as evidenced by our own segment host here, Mr. Jason Evans, is a recent graduate about a year ago now.
Yeah.
So that's the school you came out of. So some really good folks come out of those schools, and you can just check out. Here's the funny thing. This is a set that somebody has dedicatedly worked on for possibly as much as 5 years of their life. It might have been some stuff that they wrote a bunch of years ago. Then they finally got the guts up to take a class or whatever to get up on stage. So it's usually some pretty well worked out stuff. And if nothing else, sometimes there's also some kind of crazy weirdness that goes on. So you've always got a little bit of sideshow opportunity there too. But that should be a really cool show. Is there any cost for that show? Is that a free show?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
If there was a cost, I think it'd be like $5.
Sure.
Or something.
And check out, go to Lee L.A. Lakin on Facebook. I'm sure Lee will have an announcement there and probably an event invite coming out very soon. But that's out at Joker's. Again, we're kind of hooked in with Joker's tonight. That's kind of crazy. But then you can always make it down to the Laugh It Off show, too. Make it a night of comedy.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Make it a real kind of a thing. So, all right. So that is the MKE Funny segment of our show tonight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
Completely our pleasure. Miguel Rivera, Jason Evans in, and that's the way things are in the state of comedy here in Milwaukee tonight. So we'll be back in just a couple of moments with the wrap up here on ExtempoRadio on RiverwestRadio.com.
Hudson, Olive.
Overkill!
then that's back here. Thanks for Motorhead. Thanks Lemmy. That is Overkill tonight. I think it's really kind of funny that it says Overkill with lyrics. Can anybody ever understand what Lemmy is saying? There'd be no way to verify that. You just can't be sure of what he's saying. So, but that's Lemmy tonight here on Extempo Radio. So we got about 5 more minutes here. Why don't you talk about the Facebook reveal page?
No, just get ready for my book. Just get ready. No, I'm actually really jacked about. Cool. Like I said before, I spent a lot of time on the book. And it was a mess, and I finally, it's like the feeling that there's a project that I wanted to get done for a long time, long time, Yeah. And for such a big project, I mean, it's something that should have got done a long time ago. I mean, for God's sakes, it was originally only 60 pages,
yeah,
and I cut that down to 40, but it's the best content that I could have turned it into. So it just feels super good to get it done. I know it's great, great content. But yeah, the way I'm gonna set it up, I guess, totally contradicting what I just said, is we're gonna set up a Facebook reveal page. If you haven't heard about it yet, I guess you can Google it or whatever. But to be able to get the ebook, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but you are gonna have to go to Facebook on facebook.com/Powlove. And like the page to be able to download the ebook. And if you already like the page, well, then you just get the ebook. So congratulations. But that's it.
And that's at Powlove, facebook.com/Powlove.
Right.
And yeah, it's a simple thing, but it's a good thing. It's a thing that, it gives you an idea how to track and what kind of a reaction you're getting to it.
Right, I have to keep track of that.
Yeah, and it's a great thing. And so people don't freak out about it. Facebook, look, 1,000 people became millionaires this week with the IPO on Friday of Facebook. 1,000 people literally became millionaires because somebody went and flipped a switch and suddenly made Facebook part of NASDAQ, and now it's sold as a publicly traded company. Those people don't care one rip about you. Nope. They don't care. They don't give a crap. They don't track your information to use it for nefarious purposes. And I know I'm something of a conspiracy jagger, but come on, man. Just go check in on the page and just just sign up and check it out.
Read the book, man, and like my page.
Read the book, like the page. I think there was a whole there was something about that back in the day on what was the The Truth Is Out There. That was Scully and Mulder.
X-Files?
Yeah, that was some X-Files action back in the day. But I'm just trying to relocate camera here.
You got it?
Yeah, no. I don't know what's going to happen.
But yeah, man, I am actually really jacked about the material that I put out. You know, it's like, once again, very important project to me, and it's a lead into all the other stuff I'm going to be writing. I'm going to be doing another ebook, and then I've got one official book that I'd like to get done by the end of the year. But yeah, that's it. And it's also obviously because, I don't want to put myself out there as this life coach, relationship coach, and all that stuff without you understanding what it's all about. So this will be a really great taste. You can use it; it'll be useful to you.
Yeah, we're gonna reveal more about the life coaching, more about the cash coupon offer, and things coming up on future shows. But check out samcaban.com, check out powlove.com, and definitely stop in and read the Sam blog, good things like that. So that is awesome. So we're just like I say, wrapping things down here on Extempo Radio, and it's just a beautiful night here in Milwaukee. Still got a couple hours. Get out there and enjoy it. Still spots open here at riverwestradio.com. Stop down and see the guys here at Riverwest Film and Video. That's 824 East Center Street in Milwaukee's Riverwest neighborhood. They'll set you up with a radio show. Right now, I'm looking at a basset hound walking around in the in Riverwest Radio.
Sweet.
It's a completely friendly place. They're totally cool with you and your lifestyle and coming around. There is some of the most amazing vintage kind of erotica and crazy
Italian
porn.
stallion.
Yeah, there's some amazing.
That cracked me up, man. Oh wow, I couldn't believe that movie. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No, absolutely no.
But I didn't know. I've always heard the word Italian or that term Italian Stallion, but I didn't know it was like a Stallone movie. I had no clue.
Oh yeah. There's some there's some reality behind some of that stuff. That's when reality television was truly reality.
Yes.
But check out Riverwest Film and Video. Think about moving to Riverwest. It's quite possibly the worst neighborhood I've ever lived in my life, and I'd like you to come down and enjoy the same level of ridiculousness and threat and fear of being a put upon member of society that looks over your shoulder every time you get out of your car, thinking that you might be robbed or beaten or whatever. And that guy's looking at me like he's gonna hang out outside and just wait till I come out and he'll jump me when I'm on the street. Yeah, he's like, hey, dude, don't bag on Riverwest. It's a great place. No, it's a nice neighborhood. There's really cool stuff, but man, we got to change some things here. So come be a force for good. So if you own several large bits of munitions and you want to help be a force for good in patrolling the mean streets of Riverwest, I encourage you to move here. Please make me feel safe in my neighborhood. It's awesome. So, hey, thanks for tuning in to Extempo Radio. I'm Brendan O'Day.
I'm Sam Caban.
We'll be with you next week, 7 o'clock Mondays.
Peace.